This Corsa is about to undergo the biggest transformation it's ever faced in its life. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm actually going to be wrapping the entire car in a colour that I've never actually seen myself on a Corsa. It's bright, it's in your face, it's obnoxious, and I actually think it might look okay. Well, little did I know that when I bought this car, it had turned out to be one of the most viewed projects that I've had on this channel. For some reason, you guys are absolutely loving me messing around with this cheap, fun Corsa. We've put some wheels on it, we've even changed the suspension, and it's now sitting pretty low. The wheels and suspension made the biggest difference. The car actually looks pretty good now compared to what it looked like when we first got it. But then things took a turn for the worst. I was having a problem on the dashboard where the temperature gauge was fluctuating up and down, which I diagnosed myself to be the thermostat. Turns out there was a lot more issues than I was hoping for. Now the only problem is we've managed to fix the heating issue, but we've now stumbled across another problem. But the good thing is, I don't think it's a big fix. So after trying for hours and hours to fix the heating problem, we finally got to the bottom of it, and on the way home from actually fixing that problem, we got an oil pressure light on the dashboard. Honestly, you could not make this stuff up. Now I'm pretty sure it is just going to be down to this little tiny oil pressure switch down here, which I think, if you can see behind that, it's actually starting to leak. Apparently these are really common to go wrong on these engines. I feel like I'm running into a lot of common problems, but it is on that mileage where things are starting to go wrong. So I think we should start by changing the oil pressure switch. I think they're only about £7 from GSF. Go grab one of them, and hopefully that has solved the issue. I'm really hoping that I'm right on this one. If it isn't the oil pressure sensor, we could have a pretty big problem on our hands. It could even be the oil pump not pumping oil around the car, which is giving us a low pressure warning. I've just got to hope that the oil pressure sensor is faulty and we can replace it. Part acquired. We've just got the oil pressure switch here. It's literally just one spanner that you need to change these out. Let's get home, let's get it switched over. Well, let's hope that this little bugger is the answer to our prayers. And then apart from that, there's pretty much nothing at all wrong with the Corsa. If this is the problem, then I'm actually not that bothered, because it is just a 10-minute job to get this one switched over. You simply get a spanner around the oil pressure switch, take the old one out, replace it with the new one, tighten it up, and then just plug it back in. And we've just got to hope that it works. Well, that's all installed, it's all plugged in. We can just hope that that's actually worked. Well, we can only hope, and we'll only know once the car is actually up to temperature. The problem only occurred, the light only came on once the car was completely at its full operating temperature. The oil was nice and hot, and then when I dipped the clutch and the revs went under 1,000, that's the only time that it started to throw the oil pressure light. So we'll run the car for a bit, we'll take it for a drive, get it nice and hot, and fingers crossed it's gone away and we can start stripping it, ready to wrap it. Well, I guess if this works, then that is all the issues rectified on the Corsa, and we can get back to actually modifying this car. There should be nothing else wrong with it. I'm just hoping that that sensor is all that was wrong. It almost seems too easy to be the problem, but I guess we'll find out. Well, the temperature's going up, and we haven't got an oil light just yet, but I'm not gonna count my eggs too soon. The clutch is in, it is under 1,000 RPM, it is up to temperature, and the oil light has gone off. Let's get modifying this thing, let's get wrapping it, let's get stripping it, and let's have some proper fun on these videos again. And just like that, that was all the problems fixed on the Corsa. That has been nearly a month's process to try and diagnose and fix all of the problems that we've been facing on this car. But finally, it is a fully working, hopefully reliable car now. Let's get wrapping it. Well, I guess we've now got no excuse to wrap the Corsa. Check this bad boy out. So that gazebo didn't quite work out, but we've left it in the garden, so when we've got the washing out, the washing don't get wet if we're ever not at home. This is a proper industrial gazebo. You can literally hang off the middle of this and it supports your weight. I've ratchet strapped it to the concrete there and I've ratchet strapped it to the concrete there, so it shouldn't ever go anywhere. Now I just want to say a massive thank you to Rock Awnings for sorting me out an amazing deal on this gazebo. And if you guys want to go ahead and get yourselves one, these are absolutely amazing coming up to winter if you want to protect your car from the elements of obviously snow, rain, wet, damp, everything. These things are actually really good. They've set up a discount code for you guys to use. If you use the code JesseRock, you can actually get £25 off your gazebo. This is going to save my channel through the winter period. We've also got sides to go on it as well if we wanted to make it completely enclosed, but I guess we better crack on wrapping this car. And I think we should start with showing you guys what colour we're actually going for. Now when I said it was bold, and I said it was brave, and I said that it was going to stand out, I wasn't joking. So without further ado, here is the colour. So this is like a neon yellow to kind of lime green, and luckily the camera's doing a good job at picking up its true colour. This is going to be absolutely insane to look at on a bloody Corsa. I can't actually believe we're doing this, but there's no excuse not to now. Millie's even excited. What are you barking at? Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Now I actually want to do another shout out in this video, I know, but there's so many companies helping me out doing this and making this all possible. I want to give a shout out to Ravuni, I think that's how you pronounce it, Ravuni, for actually supplying the wrap for the Corsa. They seen on my Instagram story that I wanted to give wrapping out a try, so they sent me a DM and said let us supply you the vinyl, and yeah, they didn't disappoint. Yeah, looking at the job now, I'm actually really grateful that Ravuni have provided this vinyl. The vinyl that I was going to go for when I first had the idea of wrapping this car was just some cheap £130 vinyl that wasn't air release, and it was just going to make my life so much harder. The vinyl that Ravuni have provided is actually an air release vinyl, which I hope makes my job a little bit easier. I've never done this before, so I guess we'll just find out. I guess it now all makes sense of why we need to kind of go with a darker colour on the alloys. With this colour being such a bright and in-your-face colour, I think it will look a lot better if the wheels were to go black. So we are going to be doing them ourselves. We're going to be refurbing the wheels, painting them. We've got to do the calipers in a colour that I can try and match to that, but I do think the wheels would benefit from going black. We've got the spoiler to go on the back, so once we've finished doing this massive wrapping job, this Corsa should actually look pretty damn good. Well, I guess this is where it starts. This is actually going to be the last time this car will move until it is fully green/yellow. I told you guys this was going to happen, and this is the start of it. I'm going to start by taking the back bumper off, then we'll start with probably removing all the side skirt stuff, get it as bare as possible and make it as easy as possible to wrap this car. Ravuni have gave us air release vinyl, which should make this job a lot easier, but I think I've got my work cut out. And I'm slowly starting to realise that wrapping a car in my mind is a lot easier than actually wrapping it in person. So I guess we better start stripping this car. We'll start from the back and work our way to the front and see how much we can get done today. Well, we are making some good progress. This side of the bumper is pretty much loose. That should be ready to pretty much drop out once we've got the other side off. We've got this half of the wheel arch off, so we can actually wrap behind there. With these, I might just spray them black, or maybe try and wrap them. I'm not sure. They look a bit dated now. They've gone a little bit grey, but next up we can get this whole side trim off. Do the same with that, either wrap it or spray it black. These, I think you can just delete these, and actually I don't know if they stick on or if they're part of the bodywork. We'll have to see with them. Obviously we've got to decontaminate and wash the whole car So we will be doing that once it is stripped. And obviously to do that, we're going to be using the Hydro products. If you guys want to try Hydro out, they're a new company and they are absolutely storming the market with their products. I swear by them, and if you guys do want to check them out, we've got a 30% off discount deal running for 24 hours from the second you're watching this video. So there's never been a better time to try out Hydro than right now. So head to the links in the description, have a look at Hydro, use the discount code Jesse30 to get your 30% off and give them a go. Trust me, you won't regret it. And while Millie's busy in her basket giving us a helping hand, I guess I should probably start by getting the other side of the bumper off. For some reason Vauxhall use these kind of plastic bolts and plastic nuts. I've never actually seen them before on a car, but I guess it stops them rusting, which is kind of a bonus. And that is one Corsa bumper removed. And it's also quite nice to know that this car, unless this has been changed, hasn't been in an accident. The actual kind of structure of the car isn't all folded in. The crash bar is pretty good condition, it's not actually rusty. And yeah, that is one bumper off. Now this isn't actually that bad a condition. I think if we give it a good tidy up, strip all the plastic bits off, I don't think this could be too hard to wrap. Now don't get me wrong, I don't know how well this is going to go. If the car's going to end up looking absolutely god awful, then I will have to call someone in that knows what they're doing to give me a hand. But I think we'll be alright. What I'm going to be needing is some of the knifeless tape. I think we're going to have to do some of these in different kind of sections instead of trying to wrap and fold the vinyl round it. I guess this is literally one of them trial and error kind of jobs. I've never done it before. We're going to give it a go. Let's carry on stripping. Now I think on this one I might actually need your guys' opinion because I'm not too sure what to do. Obviously I've just took the spoiler off and we've got this extendable spoiler that I got from eBay. Now that's all well and good, but the roof is actually staying black. Once we've wrapped the car, I'm going to keep the roof black and I'm actually going to keep the wing mirrors black as well. I just think it'll tie in well, I think it'll suit, and well, that's what's happening. So I'm not sure whether to put the spoiler in black or wrap it yellow. Obviously if we come to the boot, this whole boot section here is going to be like yellow, so I don't know if it'd make sense to follow the yellow up onto the kind of the spoiler but then the actual roof be black. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think in the comments and I guess we'll go from there. I can't decide what to do. I don't know what will look better, I don't know what will look worse. Yeah, let me know. Next up is the lights, and to be fair, stripping this Vauxhall down hasn't actually been that bad of a job. All the bolts have seemed to come out easy and it's actually been quite enjoyable. Well, like a plonker, I haven't got any plastic removal tools. I've just had to order them on Amazon with a couple of other bits for wrapping a car. I can't believe it. Why am I doing this? This isn't going to go how like I imagined it in my head, but I guess I've committed now and I can't let you guys down. So yeah, I'm going to just have to be careful taking stuff like this off to try and not damage the paint. But that worked out alright. I wonder if we can get some tinted ones of these. I'm sure we could find some on eBay. I'll probably order them instead of putting them back in, but the back is pretty much stripped and I am going to get some tape and tape over all the electrical connectors. Obviously I know it's under here, but when we do give it a proper good wash, I don't want to damage any of the electrics. Obviously we've started to accumulate a lot of bloody parts now. We've got the whole bumper which still needs stripping down a bit unless I can wrap these in them because I think they're actually almost moulded in. We've got to take the reflectors off. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to spray tint them, take these like mud kind of flaps off. We've got a lot of bloody work to do, so we should probably just carry on. Well, we're absolutely flying through this now. The SXI badge is even come off as well. I'm not sure on how I actually do get these kind of trims off. Maybe I will just have to kind of wrap over them, or well, yeah, maybe I'll just have to wrap over them. I'm not sure how they come off. I'll have to do a little bit of research. We've got this wheel arch off, which I'm not entirely sure what has happened here. I'm guessing it just doesn't like to stay on, so maybe we'll just tiger seal the others back on. I am actually going to give it a go trying to wrap the little plastic pieces and see how we get on, because I just think it'd look a lot better, but I guess we're now onto the front of the car. This whole side is pretty much complete. We've even took the indicators out, which hopefully we can find some of the smoked out ones for this car. But I guess we're on to the front. Get the front bumper off. Start on this side, on the left side, and then I think we're ready to start prepping it. Little did I ever think that I'd be wrapping a Vauxhall Corsa myself, but I guess here we are. And just like the back bumper, the front bumper was really easy to get off. It has the same plastic screws and bolts which don't rust, which I actually am becoming a fan of these. And I think that should be the bumper all off. Well, it's safe to say the Corsa is looking pretty sorry for itself. The car is pretty much fully stripped, and it actually didn't take as long as I thought. We've got this all done in a day. We didn't really come across any harsh bolts or any screws that were stuck. It's actually been quite fun to work on this car. I guess there's no going back now. We've added the sides on the gazebo and the back as well. Maybe I should try and get maybe a couple of garage banners up in here. We are going to sort out some sort of lighting, so obviously when I'm stood in the gazebo like this, you guys can actually properly see me, because yeah, we're going to need some proper LED lighting under here. But for now, this is a great way of being able to work on the car without getting absolutely drenched. The front bumper's off. We've got to take the headlights out just to give us better access of tucking the wings when we start to wrap the wings. But guys, there is no going back. We are in full swing now. The whole car is stripped. All we've got to do now is decontaminate it, wash it the best we can, and hopefully this wrapping goes well. I'm not sure how good it's going to go. We're just gonna send it. We've pretty much got a full scrapyard full of Corsa parts. What I'm going to be able to do with these bits, I'm not sure whether the wrap will stick. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, to be honest. We're just going to have to see what we can do, especially the side skirts. But yeah, this I don't really know what to say, except I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did and you are excited to see me wrap this Corsa, and you do actually like the colour that we have decided, then make sure you drop a like, drop a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.